Hello everyone. In today's video, I want to address a question that we get all the time, whether it's from new investors looking to get into crypto, whether it's from people looking to invest in our fund. And that is, what things do we look at before we decide to invest in a coin or token? So we actually have a weighted matrix that we use that we will plug in over 15 different variables that helps us decide whether or not we want to invest in the crypto and how much we want to invest. Now, I'm not going to go over all 15 with you, but let's go over the top 5 things that we look at when we consider we want to invest. So the first thing that we're going to consider is going to be the actual technology. What is it? What do they do? So when you find a token that you're considering, the first place I want you to go to is coinmarketcap.com. Now, CoinMarketCap is a hub of information that can send you out to wherever you need to help make your decision. Now, if you find a coin, you're going to click on that coin on CoinMarketCap, and right on the left-hand side is going to be a link that says website. Now, that's going to take you to the actual authentic website of that coin or token. That's very important. Once you get there, you need to dissect. What do they do? What do they plan on doing, right? What is the actual service or product? What is the technology, right? Once you have a good idea of that, you need to actually consider, is it possible? A lot of these tokens have grand ideas of what they want to achieve, but you need to consider, like, can they actually get it done, right? This is where I would send you to their white paper, right? So another website that you can use is one called BitScreener. If you head to that one, it's very comparable to coinmarketcap.com. I find it a little bit easier to navigate because on their little graph, you'll see an option that says white paper. Click on that, and that is going to take you to a long document that'll actually go through everything that that company does. I want you to read this whole thing in full. Don't just read the abstract. Very important that you actually gather as much information on these coins as possible. Now you have an understanding of what they do. Now let's consider the actual use case, right? The current use case versus the future use case. So let's look at a coin like Bitcoin, and transactable token is what it's meant to be, right? Its current use case is actually great. You can actually use it, right? You can go into a business, a local business, and sometimes they'll actually accept Bitcoin. There's a ton of online businesses that accept Bitcoin, right? So its use case now is probably pretty good. But if you look at the future, its use case might not be that great, right? There's other transactable coins that are better. They're quicker, they transact better, they're more private, right? So its future use case may not be as good. You need to consider both of those, right? When considering what is the coin itself, what is its future use case, or excuse me, what's its use case now and what's its use case in the future, right? Now, the second thing that we look at is the team behind it, right? This is probably the hugest thing. Can they scale the actual product, right? Are they capable of doing what they say they're going to do? So when you want to look at this, one of the best websites you can look at is GitHub. Now, GitHub will be a place where you can look at all the developers on the team and what they've done in the past as well. And that's a huge thing. Look at their past projects. Were they successful, right? Other things you want to look for is any red flags. Have they done anything shady in the past? The team backing the product is almost more important than the product itself, right? Now, the third thing that we look at is the community's opinion. Now, is the community on board? So there's 2 places that I like to look here. The first place is going to be Reddit. So search for the coin on Reddit and read the opinions. You can a lot of times find the opinions of all the developers. Are they using the product, and do they see it moving forward in the future, right? Another place that you can look is called CoinGecko.com. Now on CoinGecko, it'll tell you how active the developers are and also how active people are on social media for a specific coin or token. Both very important things. The crypto community drives the market, right? So if they're on board, you should be in good shape. If they're not, it's probably something you should avoid, right? So get the opinions of the people that are actually involved in the space. Now, the fourth thing that we're going to look at is some of the statistics. So head back to coinmarketcap.com. Now, some of the things that we look at, one is the market cap, right? So how do they rank versus their competitors? Were they able to raise funds? Do people value the token, right? The next thing that you're going to look at is it inflationary versus deflationary, right? Do they have a max supply? So something like Bitcoin, there will never be more than 21 million of them. So it's what's considered a deflationary token. Now there's other ones that are constantly releasing more and more tokens. That's probably a red flag if you're looking to value that coin or token, right? It's that classic supply and demand. Bitcoin will always go up because there will always be a demand, and that supply is going to get smaller because people, they lose them, or that supply is they're never going to release more Bitcoin, right? Next thing we want to look at is the age. How old is the company and how old is the coin, right? So if it's been around for a long time, that might be a good thing that they're really well established. But if they haven't done anything in a long time, that might be a red flag. If the coin is brand new, you might need to look at it in a little bit different light, right? If it's young, if it's an ICO, you need to make sure that you're not comparing that to really old tokens, but actually comparing almost like a venture capitalist, right? It's like a startup. You got to look at it in a little bit different light than you would those older coins. Now, you have those statistics. The final thing we're going to look at is going to be the exchange adoption, right? How many exchanges is it on, and is it on popular exchanges, right? The more people that have access to a coin, the more it could grow in value. And the biggest thing you want to look for is it offered on an exchange that has fiat currency? That is going to make the price jump really high. So if it's not offered on there, look for news that it's going to be offered on something like Kraken, or if it's going to get offered on GDAX, we've seen what's happened in the past, right? So that's one thing you want to look at is exchange adoption. Now, the final thing that we want to look at is the X factor. Do you like it, right? Don't base your entire decision off this, but you actually need to value your own opinion. And the more you look at tokens, the more valuable your own opinion will be, right? So gauge whether or not you like it. Do you see the product doing well? Do you see the coin going up in price? Consider this before you invest as well. Now, those are the 5 things that I want you to consider before investing in any tokens going forward, right? If you want more information, our newsletter is down below. You can subscribe to that. We're always releasing the most pertinent information to what's going on right now, and oftentimes we'll give you our picks to what we think is the best token going forward.